Oh, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 1st of June 2022. And I don't know if you've seen the news yet. If you've been on various Telegram groups, you probably have. Otherwise, I'm here to tell you that this proposed Whiskey Hotel Oscar treaty thing that we've been very concerned about for the last few months, since January really. It kind of only seemed really 2 seconds after the restrictions in here in England were sort of being lifted that they were going on about this Whiskey Hotel Oscar treaty. I'm sure you know all about it, but if you don't, what this treaty would have meant is that in the event of any future lurgies, and let's not forget that it's the the Whiskey Hotel Oscar who actually determines the sort of seriousness of these things and whether we should sort of declare it sort of pandemics or not via some very kind of loose and rather dodgy criteria. But if there was another one, this treaty would have given that organisation full power over individual governments, so that it would have been them deciding to have lockdowns, it would be them deciding to have sort of mandated treatments rather than individual governments. So it would have been extremely unacceptable ceding of national sovereignty to this, what I regard as, frankly, a rather corrupt body that we would probably be way better off without in this world. But anyway, the World Health Assembly, which was, I think, part of the that organisation where member states gather to vote on these things, and apparently it's been voted against, not thanks to the US or UK or the major Western nations, but more thanks to a lot of African nations, as well as, I did have a little list of the countries here, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Malaysia, and Brazil in particular said it would actually leave the Whiskey Hotel Oscar rather than kind of ceding sovereignty to that organisation. So it's interesting to note that these countries against it are countries noted for being, many of them at least, for being authoritarian and sort of having dictatorships in the past, or even now still. So anyway, I thought I'd just give you that good little bit of news here on the first day of the month. And just to kind of show you, I'm just going to go on to another article here I've seen. And just in case you thought lockdowns were a good idea, and if this treaty had been voted for, we'd have probably been having them foisted upon us again at some point in the future. But there's an article here. COVID lockdowns caused 3,000 extra diabetes deaths in England. November Hotel Sierra report finds. So 3,000 deaths caused by lockdown, and that's just in England, and that's just for diabetes. And if it's 3,000 extra deaths or unnecessary deaths for diabetes, imagine what the figures are going to be when they eventually emerge for cancer. They're going to be, well, if it's 3,000 for diabetes, cancer is going to be 30,000 or even way higher than that. And then you've got all the other diseases as well. And then when you add that onto lockdown suicides and adverse deaths from a certain treatment, don't need to go into that too much more. I think the numbers of deaths caused by sort of all this government nonsense is going to be way in excess of anything that the lurgy caused. So I think that is a complete and utter kind of indictment against the government and all these policies. And that is why this vote against what the WHO was proposing is so important, and it is time to roll the powers of these insidious organisations back even further going forward into the future, I would say. Anyway, with that, good bit of news, the first bit anyway, I'm going to leave it for today. I've got a big job on today, which is going to keep me busy, which is why I'm getting this on at this time of day, and I'll be back tomorrow. Tim from Fair Play now, thanks for watching.